this is Dawn with the Science Zone again with another special guest from our Zoo Zone. This right here, this very handsome neck decoration I have, is actually Chase. Let's talk about snakes and how they move. Now we have 4 snakes down here at the Science Zone. We have Chase and Gordon, who are ball pythons, and they're brothers, both 2 years old, and they're so different in color. You've got Chase, who's brown, white, and black, and that, by the way, the different colors that they have is called morphs. We have different morphs of snakes, but Chase and Gordon, from the same parents, have incredibly different morphs. Chase is what we call a piebald, and then his brother Gordon is a yellow banana glow. Bright yellow. Go figure. You know, interesting facts about ball pythons specifically is these guys are from Africa, and rather than being snakes that hang in trees, these guys are on the ground, and they like to dig and burrow down into little huts, only leaving when they have to eat at night. So this is a little outside of his bedtime. These guys are also called royal pythons. Any guesses why? Because high-ranking aristocrats and royalty used to wear these snakes as jewelry. Yeah, alive, just like I'm doing now. They were very popular, but I mean, I look good, so I understand why. Now, we're here today to talk a little bit about locomotion in snakes. With our different snakes, each has a different way of moving. But as you can see, they have muscle power like nobody's business. I mean, snakes are all bones and muscle. And boy, howdy, do they get a workout just by moving. You know, people couldn't figure out how snakes walked for the longest time. It was finally figured out mathematically by a college professor who did a lot of engineering questions and things to figure out exactly how they move. It took math to figure out how these guys moved. There's 4 different methods of locomotion that snakes use. There's the sidewinders, which happens in the desert of Africa, and it's like you walking sideways at a really fast clip. They literally throw a loop of themselves over and pull themselves against it. Throw a loop, pull themselves, pull a loop, throw them. Yeah, it's crazy. With ball pythons and constrictors, they have a lot of muscle force. And they couldn't quite figure out how these guys could get up anywhere. Well, it turns out they have really thick scales on the underside of their bellies. They actually use these as grippers. They're like tires. They go really great one way, but not the other way. So they'll go nice and smooth this way, but if you try to move them this way, not so much. Or an ice skate, even better. Ice skates go nice and smooth, but if you turn them sideways, it stops. And they don't go backwards, and they pull that snake along. So what they're doing is they're not pushing off rocks and sticks, they're actually pulling themselves along using muscle power and weight distribution. They're putting a lot of their weight on one side to give them enough friction to pull themselves forward. So quite literally, snakes move with weight distribution and friction. With these constrictors, you can almost see the different platelet scales on the bottom of him. Now, he's not in the mood to move much today. I mean, he had a really big meal, as you can see. He's a little on the chunky side. But he is actually, these guys use a lot of their muscle control to move. Isn't that cool? This guy right here is doing what we call scoping, checking out without putting the rest of his body in danger. So he's actually doing a lot of scopes. That's all muscle power. That's incredible. So he is using a big combo of weight distribution as well as muscle control to get that friction so he can move. Did you know snakes, unlike lizards, actually shed in one long piece when at all possible? And they try to do it as far away from their homes as they can because they don't want another snake to come down. Well, interestingly enough, if you look at this, you can see the bottom of this, and we'll get some close-ups. These really thick, rigid scales, that is how they move. Now on the front top part, smooth and wonderful, but these big scales on the bottom, you can really see them up here. They're huge, and that's what they use to actually get grips on things and pull themselves forward using weight distribution, friction, and pure muscle. These guys, if they were at the gym, would beat anybody at lifting weights, I guarantee you. They are all muscle. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful Wild Wednesday. We hope to see you soon, and we hope you're having fun. Please find the enclosed activity you can do at home on making your own snake locomotion out of construction paper. Thanks so much, and have a great day.